Hello everyone and welcome back to this Gran Turismo playthrough. This is license B7. I'm just going to take a seat, I won't be a second. There we go. So yep, this is license B7 and we'll just read the description quickly. So, high speed driving lines and accelerator control. Drive through the set of small corners on the first half of the autumn ring to practice your steering and acceleration coordination. Take this right, left, left, right, set as quickly as possible without leaving the track. This cannot be done at full power, so you'll need to carefully adjust your speed with some skillful accelerator work while steering through the bends. Wow, that's a long piece. I didn't really pause there. So it's something I've looked at in the past, really, on other videos with regards to Autumn Ring, and that it's that complex section where weight transfer and sort of using like the car's weight to get around the corner better is an advantage. As you can see there, we've got it's just that complex where it just goes like so you know, it's like a U shape. So we're gonna just have a quick practice first. Obviously, we'll just check the driving options. So on sports hard, turn what we can off. Except we can't turn skid recovery force off, annoyingly. But yeah, we're in a Golf and it's front wheel drive again. So we've been in a lot of front wheel drive cars. And where on the others it's been sharp corners, this one is just going to be all about a complex of corners. So really we're going to try and use everything we've learnt to really put in the best time we can. So let's jump straight into this. We'll have a look at the time as well. Basically 5 past. So we have until 20 past. So we're going to go straight into this. I can see there we've got lots of understeer. So we're just going to go around, just to see what we can do initially, time wise. Look at the understeer, absolutely incredible. So just off a gold there, we've got a silver time. And as you saw there, we were well off the apexes and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to look at really is nailing the apexes. Now I want to go central over the curbs, because then the weight transfer is just flat initially, so it's not jumping to I'll do it with this hand, it's not going that way or that way, the weight, it's always going to try and remain flat. So we're going to do that initially. And we'll also look at the driving line initially as well. So it's weight transfer and driving line we'll focus on. As you can see there, I went a bit more aggressive. That cost me in the middle of that complex. And then we were just off gold there. I've got 21 thousandths off. So as you saw in the middle of that complex, we went a bit too aggressive in, and because we went too aggressive in, it sort of forced us over, and that obviously led to us getting a worse, well, a better time this time, but a worse time last time. So once again, we're going to try and be a bit more aggressive this time, because obviously we weren't aggressive enough as we should be. So we want to be aggressive. A lot more aggressive there. As you can see, we've gained loads of time. I think on the next run I'm going to do a dabber brake there, because we're still understeering and we've failed the test. First one we've failed actually, I believe. Oh no, we crashed on the previous one. But as you saw there, more aggressiveness did work for this first section. So I'm just going to let off slightly and then accelerate through. And I don't really want to let go on this point. The wheel is trying to go the other way. But we're going to have a brake just about there. Need to brake a bit earlier actually, looking at that. But we got a brilliant time there, 18.780. Good time. We can still go faster though. As you saw there, the more aggressive nature of the car, or of our driving, helped with the time. And also you'll have seen there the weight was more central, as I said I was going to try and do. Obviously if you're more aggressive, the weight's going to transfer. It's going to, if you hit a curb in the wrong way, going to transfer like that, and you don't want that. So if you keep it flat, it's the best way. We just leveled to level 4, so you know, going well. We've just got 36 to go, but we'll continue on this. So once again we gain time, we've been even more aggressive this time. Just doing half throttle at the moment. and then we want to really turn in. No, we turned in a bit too early there. That was a bit weird. It felt wrong initially. We still improved on our time though, so it shows you how much time is available. I think we could go to an 18.4 maybe if you nailed this perfectly, but we'll have to see. So the last corner I really need to focus on now, so I'm going to try and do the same sort of aggressive nature of the turns. It's got a lot of grip, this car, for a front wheel drive car. As you can see there, we're doing well against the Ghost. And we've got 18.5 now. We'll just save this replay just in case we can't improve. But we've still got quite a while to go, so obviously we can really have a look at improving. So once again we're going to begin. Now that last corner is still causing us a bit of issues. But I want to really start focusing on this complex again, because it's here where we're going to gain the most time. So I'm flatting this now. I wasn't flatting this initially, and as you can see there, that's how much time you get from flatting it. But obviously we're running wide here, and as you see there, ran too wide, and we've lost time against the Ghost. So obviously we need to find somewhere between what we were doing before, which is about 2/3 throttle, and full throttle. So we want to flat this first corner we've sort of discovered during this. So we're going to flat that first bit. Want to flat this bit and let go. And then we're going to come in and want to sort of get this right. That felt better. Was it an improvement? No, it wasn't. We were just off. It felt better, but during the middle of the complex you'll notice that the Ghost was slightly ahead, and it was more on the inside, it was tighter line. Now on the previous playthroughs we've always talked about tighter lines and how front wheel drive cars, you know, you get the better line. It's the same again here, I think, where if we just stay tight, on especially as you keep turning, we're going to get the best time. So we'll just try that again. So we want to flat this first corner, definitely want to flat this corner, want to flat this and then let go. Hopefully that'll give us a turn in. There we go, that's much better. And we've got the turn in there. That's an absolutely epic time, that 18.3, and essentially we applied everything we'd sort of learnt from the beginning of that. We've learnt that very quickly actually, but we'll have a look, see if we can improve any more. And I'll just explain my thinking of that before we start again. So obviously remembering the stuff from the previous stuff, the front wheel drive cars, we sort of learned that tightness and sort of being aggressive does help. Now in this situation with this car, it feels very aggressive. Obviously the first part of the section, the left, then going into the complex part of the section, I felt I could be aggressive. Now obviously if I just come off the throttle as I did after the first part of it, it allows the car just to do all this steering, rather than having to use this foot, you know, for throttle and steer. So if it's just doing this and I can turn and do whatever I want with this, it's obviously going to turn. I'm not going to get understeer, and I should be able to improve my time. So obviously that happened here, and now we're just going to try and get more finesse out the car as we go into these last minutes of this test. So what time is it? It is 11. So we've got until 19. It's got a good 8 minutes to play with. So once again we're going to try it again. So I want to be flat through this first corner. I'm not going to go like as wide this time, just to see what we can do. I'm trying to be as aggressive as possible here at the moment. I was far more aggressive there, even used the brake, and just off there, look, 3,000. You never saw the Ghost in that because we had a similar line. So different driving style. We used the brake this time. We're a bit more aggressive. Didn't quite work out, but I think we're getting the right idea with the style. I think we do have to be on the far right from the previous one, so we will look at that again. Just coming over and then coming in. Yeah, look, we get a far better line. I've just had to come off early there actually because I turned a bit weird and got disqualified. Too much to the left, so that obviously cost us time. It felt really weird going into that corner, so we'll just retry this. There we go. There we go. We got a weight transfer there, which I don't know if you'll say. Oh no, we've gone wide slightly. Are we going to keep it? No. So obviously there's still time there. We got a really good weight transfer where, as we landed, the weight transferred at the back, and it sort of gave us that sort of like drift motion where we could just drift a bit more on the second left, which really helped us there. We gained 2 tenths there, so we're going to try and get that again. As you see, we got a better last corner there. Now we were behind the ghost, and we still finished behind the ghost, but we got a better last corner. So we found time on the second to last corner and on the last corner. So obviously there's still time to be gained. Let's see if we can't get in this point too. Right, so we want to be aggressive. I broke a bit too much there, and you can see we have broken a bit too much. So 0.4. It's just about getting the finesse of the aggressiveness, because obviously if you're too aggressive you're going to lose time because of the way the car works in the front wheel drive. So we'll just try again. Oh no, we got a bit cheeky there. A bit too much curbing. So we'll redo that. So we gain time on the first corner here as well. Ooh, that was a bit weird. The timing sort of stopped on 0.316 and then jumped. So we gained time on the first corner and the last corner there, I noticed. So there's time to be gained everywhere on this. It's going to go really aggressive now. I don't want to let go, don't want to let go. Want to let go now. Let the car go loose a bit. Broke a bit too much, I think, but we could still gain time here because we released steering. Nah, we've gone wide. It's all about that last corner. Apparently we're going too aggressive into the second part because we're trying to get that slide, and it means we're not getting a good line for the last corner. You'll have noticed that I tried to counter a bit of oversteer, but we're not going to get an improvement on time. So 0.417. So, you know, you just got to keep trying. We've got the general idea now. We've gone a bit wide, we've missed the apex there slightly. We're going to have to be really aggressive here. So we've stayed above 70 that time. Yeah, we don't want to use the brake at all there. I've just tried that there at the second part because I realised the lap wasn't going to be better. So we don't want to use the brake. We want to come in really early here. It gains us a bit of time. We want to straighten up, be as aggressive as we can there. Stay at 70. There we go. And I do believe that's going to be an improvement. Just 0.191. Yeah, my voice got a bit crazy there at the end because we were about to come off with the understeer, but we managed to just survive that. Just survive. So we're in the 0.1s now. As I said, you just when you figure out something. So like I mentioned that I figured out you didn't need to brake in the last corner. Once you figure out that, keep doing it. Even if it's going to be a bad lap or you're going to come off, keep practicing it, because eventually it'll just be so ingrained into yourself that if you do then go for the brake, like so, if you do go for the brake, it'll feel weird and wrong. And you'll find that with different tests, because driving essentially is a pattern, especially if you're doing lap after lap. Because obviously, if you start doing something and you do it repeatedly, constantly, and then try and do something else, it feels weird. Now, initially, when you try something new, which I always say do, you will struggle initially because obviously you were in that pattern and you're trying something new and it'll feel weird and it might not be as fast. But if you think it could be, or it's quite close, try it again, because it might be just because you're out of the pattern and you're just not comfortable initially with it. That's the reason why you aren't getting the time. So, you know, try something once. If it doesn't work, don't work. Maybe try it again, and then you might find something new. So we're going to give this one last shot. So I want to come in. I'm going to try and be as aggressive as possible now. And we've improved again, remarkably. You see how we adapted to the situation. We then improved again. A 0.0 is probably possible now. Looking at this, this is the biggest gap to gold we've seen yet. But that's going to be it on this playthrough, I believe. I'll just save it. As I mentioned, though, do try new things. Obviously, we learned different parts because obviously we've got multiple corners on this one. We haven't really had that. So we learned in like turn 1 we had to go quite tight, gave us a good line for the second corner. In the third corner, which was the first left, we realised that if we could use the weight transfer to give us a bit of oversteer, which allowed us to get a really good line for the fourth corner, and then obviously the fifth corner led into the last corner. We found ourselves being, if you were too aggressive, you'd understeer off on the last corner, whereas if you were just went into the corner, came off the throttle, allowed the car to turn in and then accelerated appropriately, you could get out in a very quick time. So that's been the playthrough of License B7, and I'll see you on the next license.